When I was younger, I was a loser. I was always friend-zoned by girls I liked and I hated my life. Then I became aesthetic and my life got 10 times better in every single area. I wake up and the first thing that I do is I grab my phone and I go on Instagram. I search for her name. Her name is Sarah and she arrived at my school a month ago. And since then, I promise you, I have been obsessing over her. This is literally my morning routine. I wake up and I go scroll on her picture. I visualize taking her on a date, kissing her. She smells amazing. I visualize the first date we will have. I quickly brush my teeth and I walk towards the school. On the way, I'm still thinking about her. I'm thinking about where I will take her on her first date, the way I will ask her out, the way she will be so in love with me. I arrive to school and as I enter, I see my class at the front of the hall, but not only that, I see Sarah and she's not alone. She's with Tyrone, but she's also kissing him. My face gets all red. I have this lump in my throat. I have this weird pain in the front of my head as I see the girl I'm in love with kissing another man. I feel like throwing up. I just feel like a complete loser. I feel like an incel to see the girl I've been thinking about for a month kissing Tyrone. At that moment, I force my legs to walk in the class. I go and sit at my place, but I look at Sarah. She has these red cheeks. She's completely in love with Tyrone. When the class ends, I quickly go to my house. I go in my washroom and I just look myself whilst crying. I feel disgusted, embarrassed of the way I look. I start to beat myself. I start to cry. I start to feel like the world is against me. This is the first time that I experience a breakup. This is the first time that my heart gets broken. But as I cry, as I'm beating myself, something clicks in my mind. I have to change. I have to build an aesthetic body because else I will live the rest of my life as this loser, as an incel, and that is not an option. From that moment, I start to work out every single day. When the summer break ends, I get back to school. I've been working out, I've been training hard for 4 months, and I just feel amazing. I have built an aesthetic body. I have built a body that I feel proud, that I feel confident in. I get in physical education, and as I enter the class, I see Sarah. But the crazy thing is that she's looking at me. She's holding my contact. She smiles at me and she seems attracted to me. At that moment, I tell myself, you've worked hard on your body. She's clearly into you. So I force my leg to go and approach her. As we talk, I decide to ask her out on a date. I can feel the attraction between us. I can feel the conversation flowing well. So I ask her what she's doing tonight and she smiles at me. She tells me that she's free and she's down to go on a date with me. It is the first time that a girl that I actually like me back. I date her for about a month, but then I see that she's not all that. But the point is that I built an aesthetic body and I started to date beautiful girls that I only dreamed of before. I went from this loser who was always rejected, always friend-zoned by girls, to this guy who gets the girls, to get the girls that he has a crush on. I am now Tyrone. And the only thing that I did is I built an aesthetic body. As men, we are attracted to the hourglass shape in a woman the same way women are attracted to the aesthetic body. I want you to think about the caveman days. Think about the woman at that time. They wanted to choose their men wisely because that man would protect her. It would protect their children and the tribe around her. So she has to choose very, very wisely in order to survive. And the sign of masculinity, the sign of strength was the V shape, the aesthetic body. That is exactly why for hundreds of years, thousands of years, these men with the V shape were just so advantaged. They were always chosen by women. In the modern day, even though we have bad genetics, we can still focus on parts of the body that will enhance the V shape and therefore make us 10 times more attractive to women. I am the proof of that. When I was younger, I had this weird body. I looked like an ugly woman and I was able to build an aesthetic body. I was able to build the V-Taper even though my genetics were bad at that time. It is the proof that even though right now you feel like you have this bad genetics, you can build an aesthetic body, you can transform your life and become that guy. Just real quick, if you want the full roadmap, go click the link in the description right now. The first part that I focused on is the back, because of course, in order to build an aesthetic body, we won't have the V-shaped back. If we have a flat back, we will not have the desired V-shape. And so the first exercise that I did is the pull-up. This is just a great exercise that I still do to this day because it really targets the upper part of the back, and that is the exact part that will enhance the V-shape, that will give us that masculine V-taper frame. The second part to target is the upper pec, and the reason is simple. When we think about it, in order to have the V-taper, we want to have the most mass on the upper part of the body. Now, when I was younger, I would do a lot of push-up, but I wasn't a fan of that exercise because it focused on the lower part of my chest and it didn't enhance the look that I wanted. It gave me those saggy look, those saggy pecs that I didn't want whatsoever. And so in order to target the masculine upper pec, what I did instead of the push-up is the decline push-up. I would put my feet on a bench, on a chair, and then I would do the push-up, and it was just perfect. It allowed me to build the masculine upper pec and not the lower chest. It is the second exercise that I do, and it is just such a great exercise. The third part to focus on in order to build the aesthetic body is the shoulders, but especially the side delts, because the shoulders is at the top of the V shape, and if you have massive shoulders, it will really give you that V look that is masculine, that is attractive to a woman. Now, what I do in order to target my side delts is called lateral raise. When I was younger, I tried a bunch of different exercises, but nothing worked but this one. I started to do it every single day, and I just saw a massive difference. I was building my side delts. I had massive shoulders in just amount of months. The fourth part to target is the neck. As you can see right now, I have clothes on and my neck is still shown even though I have this on. This is just a proof that you work out. If you have a massive neck, it will always be shown to the public. It is a sign of strength, a sign of masculinity. It will give you that masculine frame that women like a lot. The exercise that I did in order to build a massive neck is called the neck curls. There's two ways that I started to do it. I would do it laying on my back, where I'd put the weight on the front of my head and it would target the front part of my neck. And I would also do it laying on my chest, where I would put the weight on the back of my head and it targeted the back part of my neck. These two exercises allowed me to build a bigger neck. The fifth part to target is the lower abs. Why are we targeting that part especially? Because when we think about it, of course, in order to have an aesthetic body, we want to have the six pack, and the lower abs will really give you that look. It is easy to have the upper part of the six pack, but if you don't have the lower part, you will not have the six pack that you desire to have. The two king in order to have the lower abs are, first of all, the leg raise and then the hanging leg raise. I do these two exercises every single day and it just changed my life. I built a six pack so fast when I started to do these two exercises. There was some massive mistakes that I made when I built an aesthetic body. The first one was that I would skip leg day. I wanted to have the masculine V-taper. I wanted to have the masculine upper body, but I would forget about my legs. And so now I have to put my legs at the same level of my upper body, and it is just a shit show. So it is the first thing that you must absolutely do, is never skip leg day. You must train your legs at least once a week, and I promise, if you don't, you will regret it. Whenever I would go on the beach, I would have this masculine, muscular upper body, but then I would have these skinny legs, and it just made my life worse. The second mistake is that I would work out with nothing in my body. I wouldn't take any pre-workout, any coffee. I would just train, but it was a waste of time since I didn't push myself as hard as I wanted. Then I started to drink 2 coffee every single day, and it was just life-changing. I was pushing myself so much harder. It is the second thing that you must do. You must drink coffees. You must take a pre-workout before you train, before your workout. That's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Have an amazing day.